Hi everyone and a warm welcome back to the February monthly WARNO Tournament from SD League. Today we have Tmanplays vs Fantyx Game 1, Game 2 tomorrow. So today we have T-Man on the left in blue playing as the 7th Panzer Division. And then on the right in red we have Fantyx playing as the 79th Tank Division. So tanks versus tanks, obviously the bigger, beefier tanks on the side of Fantyx here, as he'll have those big T80Us. Neither player with forward deployment troops, but both getting recon out early. Spread of units all across the map for Tmanplays. A little bit more focused in the center, it looks like here for Fantyx, though a couple of units pushing down to Charlie from there. I think just the command going there and then going to the center. Anti-air heading here. Markers going down immediately on these two buildings for Fantyx. Obviously there is some Conkers in there and some Igla. Conkers shooting already at the vehicles. Got a kill there. I'm not sure what that was. No aircraft out early for these guys. No choppers either from what I can see. Some T-72s coming out now for T-Man. And a T80 BVK command tank coming in already for Fantyx. I think that is intended to go to the center. Some Sapri RPO here. Good defensive positioning for T-Man at this point. It's obviously important for him to stop Fantyx pushing up there. Controlling that area is beneficial. Currently +3 to T-Man. Though a command will be very shortly rolling back into the center there, which will neutralize, but it does give T-Man a little bit of a head start. Another T-72 coming in there. All heading to the middle. Motorstrelky rolling in this side. T-62s. More recon. 0 aircraft as yet. I'm kind of surprised. A little bit of a push going on down here for T-Man, heading towards Charlie, and there isn't a lot there defending. There is a recon chopper there now, but it's not armed. Sapri RPO bumping into these Motsuchin here and the Pioneer Flams. Reinforcements being called in there by Fantyx. He is retreating as Sapri RPO. He is also calling in an attack chopper, the first one we've seen of this game. Good maneuvering here from T-Man. He's in a better position. BMP-1 getting some shots off at those Razvedka. Oh! Will take fire from a T-62 and the BMP-1 up there, though. Has smoked itself. And is reversing out the way. Special Av Clara under fire now. I'm sure we'll be seeing some more reinforcements being called in for this point any second as well. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it looks as though there's more blue on the map, but I think it should be about even right now. Neither player will really have many kills at this point. Igla trying to get that chopper, not having much luck. That's a command tank. I saw the tank rolling in, but it's just dawned on me it's a command tank. There he goes. +2 currently to T-Man. Will be +4 because he's capping that by himself. There we go, +4. Getting those early points in. Very worthwhile. He will have to be careful on the Motorstrelky here, though. But the tank, obviously, not particularly scared of the PTR. Will be having issues with that T-62, though. T-Man needs to get in and defend it, because the Motorstrelky will pop that tank pretty quickly. They do have an RPG with 20 penetration, and this thing only has 7 front armor, so that will be an instant kill. And they're almost on top of it now. Oh, he missed. T-55 reversing, it could do with smoking itself. There's the smoke. Oh, it wasn't. Was it firing? Looked as though it was about to smoke. Oh, Mi-24D in here, absolutely ripping those motor stocky apart. The tank back there is an issue, though. T-Man has managed to save his command tank. A little bit of sparring going on up here, but nothing too exciting right now. Quite a few T-72s there to lay down covering fire. Motsuchin pushing up here will pose a threat to that T-62. And these motor stocky are almost dead. Anti-tank coming in, though. SU-25 anti-tank. Veers off. It's taking fire from the Cub. 2 Cubs firing at it. Neither gets the kill. Good positioning on those Cubs, though. Giving good cover to these forces pushing here. T80 BVK back in this point now. Back to neutralize, but T-Man with a good advantage here in points at 423. Little spread of units up here for Fantyx. I think he's lost at least 1 squad, but I also think that T-Man's lost some squads up here. As Alf Clara will get set up on by all of these units. Lots of units here, more defensively placed for T-Man. Mi-24 was taking anti-air fire there and has retreated. Igla's arriving here for Fantyx, obviously to deal with the chopper that was brought in. It's now pulled all the way back there, ready for rearming probably. T-Man backed off out of the point. Good push though. Certainly got himself some points. Sending in some reinforcements now to be able to deal with these vehicles. But reinforcements also coming in for Fantyx. And Fantyx getting deep into the forest there. We'll come up against those SPW-70s though. T80 there providing cover fire. Where is this T72 going? Oh, it's going to engage this. That's not a bad move, actually, but these conkers might be an issue. If they can see into there, if they have the support of something else. T80 is being pulled back now. No infantry in there to stop this tank, though. It really depends if any recon can see. No, I think the T72 is pretty safe at the moment. A lot of skirmishing going on up here with these infantry, though. Sapri RPO are fully healed, but the vehicles will deal with those very quickly. So they don't pose too much of an issue for T-Man right now. And he does have the Mi-24D rushing back up there to help. Down here, a little bit more stalled now. T80U has rolled into the center for Fantyx, though. I'm expecting at some point Fantyx is probably going to try and push across here. And there's not a lot defending. Certainly the conkers will put things off pushing across there. But there's a lot more in here for Fantyx than there is for T-Man at the moment. So having a look at what everyone's bringing in. Sort of a build-up of forces in the center, really, for Fantyx at the moment. Getting some infantry in up here to try and deal with that tank, I think. Yeah. Fantyx just being a little bit pushy here, revealing where stuff is, using the tanks for long-range sort of supportive fire, and it is working. Motsuchin finally arrived here in those BMP-1s. They have had a long journey. A very long journey. Motorstrucky now being pushed back. T80U there will do a lot of damage to these T72s. That's what I was saying early on when we first started. The thing that Fantyx has is the T80U. He has those really big, heavy-hitting tanks. And Mi-24D will be helpful against them, though. If he can keep it alive. T-Man back in this point, pushing up with his infantry. RPO obviously tearing apart those poor Motsuchin. You need some vehicle support in there. T62 is damaged. Command tank should get back in here without any issues and put it back to +2. T80 coming in to assist, and obviously the T80 command is still there. But this is all that T-Man needs to do, is keep pushing the points in his favour. 29 minutes after this game, and right now T-Man is ahead in points and just needs to maintain that. Needs to maintain that control. A little bit of movement up here, unsurprisingly. Fantyx going after those units that T-Man had moved up. A little bit of a push here from T-Man at the top as well, wanting to perhaps just clear up what's up there. Maybe force Fantyx to buy more stuff. Good positioning of these tanks here to fire across at these infantry. Has managed to clear out this area and force a pullback by Fantyx, which is really good. Feels like Fantyx having the slightly harder time of it right now. I think he's definitely killing stuff, but map control is just in the favour of T-Man. T80 BVK sat there. T80 sat there. What's the range on that? Can't quite see the command tank in terms of the building being in the way. Oh no, that's given away the T80 BVK there. So that'll be interesting. I'm curious whether we see a jet called in or something now to kill that. There isn't a lot of air defense for Fantyx. If you look in the center, there's an OSA, but nothing heavier than that. Not a big spread of OSAs either. Buratino coming in now, that could change the battle completely. Buratino can make all the difference. Anti-tank jet coming in the center here, veering off, taking fire, and there it is, dead. What the hell got that? I think that was one shot from the OSA and one shot from an Igla. That is very unlucky. That is really unlucky on the dice rolls. +2 still to T-Man, currently at 600. Mi-24V anti-air chopper coming in now. Good positioning here from T-Man encircling this point. So he'll be able to fire on these things from the back, though needs to be careful about that chopper coming in. Does have anti-air back here, but obviously these units are at risk. You can see there is a little bit of skirmishing going on at the top here, but obviously not a huge amount. Just loss of a few infantry, loss of a few vehicles, a little bit back and forth. Though T-Man seems to be making the most progress. T72 gets a kill on anti-tank there. Fantyx bringing in enough reinforcements to sort of keep T-Man semi at bay here. Oh, BMP-1's under attack by that Mi-24. There goes the Buratino firing now, aiming to kill the tanks that were up there. Doing a good job against that T-72. May get a kill. Will not get the kill, but did a lot of damage. Oh, it did get the kill. Oh, nearly lost the other T-72 to a Conqueror's missile as well. We'll want to reinforce that now, because obviously Fantyx has ideals of getting across this point. Though it is risky to push into this area from Fantyx's side, because obviously there's a lot up here still for T-Man, which he could push down into the point if necessary. Mi-24 kills both of those BMP-1s. Obviously they were getting a little bit out of the way on their own. It is risky. Motsuchin engaging on this chopper now, but the chopper will gun them down most likely. Again, the issue is no anti-air further forward. This is spinning out of control though. The constant fire does make a difference. It is now extremely stressed. But as is the Motsuchin, it's still going to win. It's sort of stopped spinning now. Flame troops here against flame troops. That chopper's going to make a difference, though. I mean, that chopper is technically in range, but the Eagle just doesn't have a line of sight. T-72 engaging on the T-80 command tank. T-72 is dead. I think we might be seeing T-Man getting pushed out at this point once more, but he's made a lot of points there. He is over 800 now. Still +2. But I'm not sure if he's going to hold this for much longer. Has managed to push up really far here, but that T-72 is way out there on its own. Can it see the road from there? No, it doesn't have eyes on the road. It can only see a very small circle around it. BMP is pushing up to it. Side shot, and it's dead. You can't leave a tank like that on its own in the middle of a forest. It just has no line of sight. Mi-24 is almost dead here. I think it was killed by machine gun fire in the end. T-55 hanging on for dear life, but reinforcements are needed down here. There's a flame tank coming in, but I think maybe T-Man is just accepting that he's not going to hold this point and just getting as many points as he can. He's bringing in lots of reinforcements into the top here. Obviously, the risk here is these T-80s versus the T-72s. The T-72s just cannot compete. And I mean, he's losing T-72s left, right, and center now. The T-80s are just so much better. Realistically, T-Man needs to rely on Conker's missiles to be killing these big tanks. Or choppers or jets. Because the T-72s just are not going to win at range. Up close and personal, much more likely to get that killing blow, but at range, it's just not going to happen. T-Man is keeping Fantyx at bay, but it's just, you just see them picking a unit off, Here's another T-72 about to die. T-80U barely being scratched here. Conkers will get a hit here, though. But again, it's a single hit on the front. The T-80U's armor is just too strong. Against that, you need clusters, you need anti-tank jets that have like 30 penetration or something. And obviously we did see an anti-tank jet come out, but it was immediately lost. In this situation, the SU is one of the best. See here, I should say the SU-25. The SU-22 is weaker. That was an AT coming in there. Got a nice side shot almost on that tank. I don't know if it actually can. Oh, it might have counted as front armor because it is facing that way. But again, he's lost the SU-22. It just can't take as much damage. MiG-31 doing the job there. But yeah, the SU-25 is a much better anti-tank jet. Because it takes more punishment. That SU-22 is just nowhere near as good. Has led to the death of that T-80 though, on the bright side. But sustained firepower from T-80Bs here against those Conkers. And it's just one Conkers there. There is another one coming in now. But the Conkers again, you know, against the T-80U, one hit does 1 damage. It's at 20 armor. And this only does 20 penetration. Good use of Buratino here against that area. Annihilated the Conkers. Another Conkers coming in here, though. Will do a little bit better against this since it does more damage. Missed, though. It's the accuracy that's also an issue here, in that the Conkers just aren't as accurate as something like the TOW 2. And obviously the TOW 2 also hits harder. But these T-72s are just getting minced. T-80's firing missiles across now. T-80U. Again, another T-72 dead. And the T-80U still with 2 health points will get fully repaired. Command is out at the bottom for T-Man. He has managed to put down plenty of fire still on this point, but there's more here now for Fantyx. I can potentially see Fantyx being a little bit more aggressive and pushing out, but T-Man has hit the 999 mark on points, but not quite pushed it over halfway. We are over halfway in terms of time though, with 19 minutes left of this match. And there's just so many T72s getting minced in this game. T-Man is losing a lot, and this is the issue with the 7th versus the 79th. The 79th have those big T80s, and it really does make a huge difference. Another anti-tank jet coming in, but immediately the smoke goes down just like that. And SU-22 dead again. I mean, the SU-22 is just not good enough. SU-25 80 in for Fantyx. Now there's a jet that can take some punishment. A little bit slower obviously, but very effective. There's a lot of units piled up here. I mean, that's a good defensive spread. My worry here is that Buratino. That Buratino, once it's rearmed and fully reloaded, not going to be reloaded for a while and certainly needs more ammunition. Firing down here would be quite devastating. But right now, Fantyx is just managing to keep killing so many tanks and things in this area. And my 24D pushing up here, but it's badly damaged. Igla's pushing up to try and get it, and he's a T80 UD. So as if the T80U wasn't bad enough, T80 UD has 21 front armor. Will still take a single damage from the Conkers, of course. T80B here getting hit by Conkers. Command Tank gets a kill, but Command Tank also dies to a Conkers. I think that was an attempt to push back in by T-Man there. T80 BVK now pushing up here. T62 coming in. I could see that T80 BVK ending up in this back point echo still. Buratino pushing up here. We'll rearm there. Lots of reinforcements coming in at the top there, heading into this point. Chopper just taken out at the back. I assume that was a recon chopper. Tunguska coming in now. T-Man back in this corner. No command to go in there, though. I suppose he could try and go for a kill on the T80 BVK, but that thing's going to take a lot of damage. The Conkers are firing at it right now. It backed off out the way. A little bit more pushy again now here from Fantyx. I mean, in fairness to T-Man, he's holding, but he is losing units. Another SU-22 anti-tank comes in. Does the the MiG-31 get the kill? It does not on this occasion. Does manage to dodge the Cub fire. Buratino being used to slam that area there. Only has caught one tank. No, it doesn't get a kill. But T80U and T80UD pushing up now across that open zone. Conker's coming in from the side there. Nice hit. It got a side hit. It turned just as it got there. Should be very happy with that. Another one of those would have done it. Good maneuvering down here from T-Man. He's managing to get around the point again, but other than keeping pressure, I don't think he's going to get in there with another command anytime soon. He's certainly not called one in. Most of the focus now, I think, is up here defending this. Now, the mistake here is the T80U. Oh, that's backed off. The T80UD is quite far forward. The closer Fantyx gets with these tanks, the better it is for T-Man if he can pop up these T72s, because the T72s will do better close range. They'll do more damage. Their penetration goes up. This is Fantyx trying to push across here. He needs to try and focus down those tanks, though. Because the infantry are neither here nor there. He needs to be killing these tanks. But the T80 UD, obviously, just much better. MP2 pushing up here. Engaging on the supply truck, of all things. I'm surprised you can see that supply truck, to be honest. Yeah, it can see past those trees. Fascinating. Did I hear a jet in, or was it just a helicopter? I think it's just a helicopter. This distraction does seem to work quite well for T-Man. He's causing some damage and sort of forcing units to be called in down here still, while mainly focusing on calling in tanks here. I mean, he must have a lot of T-72s in his deck, but he is losing a lot. This is T-72Ms coming in now. It's slightly better front armor, I believe, than the standard T-72. Yeah, 13 instead of 12. Not going to be doing that much against the T-80s. T-80 BV, T-80U, and T-80 UD being pulled back to repair now. Tunguska taking fire from the T-72. T-72 should finish the job. There we go. Now, unfortunately, T-Man doesn't really have a pushing force, but now, while those big tanks are badly damaged, would have been the time to push. But more T-80Bs coming in now. It's just those heavy tanks are so much of a problem for T-Man. But he's doing a really good job at holding. 13 minutes left of this game. T-Man way ahead in points. Fantyx has to make a move. T-Man has to hold. Fantyx has to take ground. And he's got a lot of tanks in the middle to do it. So I don't think it'll be an issue for him in the grand scheme of things. I think he can push and do it. It's whether T-Man can hold for long enough. And he's got to hold. There's a lot of expensive tanks in here, and Fantyx keeps them alive, which is the main thing. Letting them get down to a couple of points of health, pulling them back and repairing them. T-Man is doing the same, but he's not being as lucky because it only takes 2 hits from those T-80s to kill one of those T-72s. So he's having a much harder time of it. Command tank being called in again down here. Motsuchin. T-Man's going to do another push into this point. At the moment, tanks-wise, there's the T-62 and there is the T-80. But the Conkers are the bigger threat. But I think T-Man can get back in there. I don't think there's enough there to stop him. My concern is what happens up here in the meantime. Because obviously Fantyx is being pushy. He knows he needs to take ground. And he's getting closer and closer. Mi-24D at the back here, not being repaired. Conker's being moved up here. Taking fire from the side though. A little bit worried about the lack of recon for T-Man up here. These special Alpha Clara perhaps coming in there. Yes, they are. I was going to say, I was just a little bit worried. He's not really got eyes on down here. T-80B's being rolled down now. These guys coming in to engage the Conkers. Probably that T-72 as well. Conker's getting some shots off. Mi-24D could be pushed up. Oh, they're actually... I was going to say the Eagles are out of missiles, so that Mi-24D could do some damage here. Unfortunately, those Conkers died. T-72 should get another shot off here. Is missing, unfortunately. That is the issue. Ah, there's the Mi-24D. T-72 immediately taking a lot of fire. He needs to get that out of there. I don't think he's realised it is dead. Command back in the bottom point. +2 for T-Man. He is over the halfway mark now with 10 minutes left of this game. That tank is already badly damaged. T-62 is dead, however. That tank needs an urgent repair. There is potential for repair. But the T80 BVK is coming down to finish the job. Does it have eyes on? I don't think it has eyes on. Engine's damaged. It is in range of those munitions, and it is getting repaired. T80 is very close to those Motsuchin. SU-25 anti-tank coming in. Unfortunately, Motsuchin not enough. Oh, command tank is down. SU-25 is dead though. Yeah, those poor Motsuchin got wrecked by the T80 BVK there. Oh, Buratino is off again. That's an attempt at killing the command. I mean, you know, Fantyx is pushing this point. He has got him pinned right back into the corner now. T-Man needs to do something here to stop him getting into that back corner. But he's going to have a hard time of it. Just looking for what T-Man's next move might be. He's certainly bringing in a lot down here. He could kill that command. He's probably got enough here to do it. Unfortunately, that Mi-24 is going to stop him in his tracks. He's got one Igler left back here, but it's not close enough to engage that chopper. Push going on here for Fantyx. Slow, methodical push. He has got all the way across the point. T80U damage, but still pushing. T80 BVK there. Still aggressive and pushing. T80 UD pushing up. Conker's firing from range against the T72s. T72s are pushing now. He has managed to kill one of the tanks. T72 will take a lot of fire. May take the Conkers in. Oh, smoke just in time. SU-22 anti-tank coming in, going for that command. Doesn't get the kill. Also doesn't take any fire on this occasion. Mi-24P absolutely wrecking poor T-Man down here. T-Man really needs some more anti-air down here. SU-22 came back in for another pass. Don't actually know if it got a kill. MiG came in for it but missed its shots. SU-25 rocket coming in. Is going for the command. Does get the kill. +3 now to Fantyx. 7 minutes left of this game. Is +3 enough in 7 minutes to win this game? He may force a draw. He gets 3 points every 1.5 seconds. Command rushing in for T-Man. He needs to get it into a sensible position. Down here somewhere would be good. Where you can't actually be seen even from the forest. See where we found in previous games that little area here? So like down here. Because you can't be seen from most of the forest line there. You have to be in very specific positions. And in fact, even better is this corner here. Because look at that. You cannot see it even from the edge of that forest. That little section there is completely invisible. Command is back in. Back to neutralize. 6 minutes to go. Good supportive fire from that chopper at the bottom there. Plenty of units out here, but obviously they can't really do very much with that chopper in the way. Command tank coming in once more for the bottom. Fantyx still pushing, but losing units now, having to overextend to try and deal with what's going on. Where is this SPW going? It has gone to that corner. And there it is. It is in the protected zone. T-Man's been practicing where he's putting these, clearly. Because it's definitely going to be very hard to see. 5 minutes left. T-Man also kind of pushing a bit here. Risky maneuver, but has managed to kill some of those big T80 tanks. I think there's a T80U dead, and I think some of the T80Bs are dead that came down here. So that is really good right now for T-Man. 5 minutes left. Points currently neutralized. Command tank still rolling in down the bottom here. So may again go to +2 for T-Man. That Mi-24 is wrecking down here. T-Man still with that Igla, but all the way back there. Does not have line of sight on that chopper. Finally does now. Misses. It's got that long reload time. Chopper now appears to be out of line of sight again. Line of sight for anti-air is really weird in this game. Like, for me, that should be able to shoot that guy, that chopper there. I mean, if he stood in here, I'm sure he should be able to see that chopper through the trees. There is a cub here, but it is out of missiles. There's cubs here as well. Chopper or something just went down somewhere. I heard the crash. Was that here? That one's about to go down by the Igla. This tank just rolling along. Is it risk of getting side shot by that? That's a Concon missile as well, so that's going to hurt. The Mi-2 going in as a distraction there? I'm not sure. Conquest briefly has line of sight. Mostly anti-air in here. Some T-62s coming in now. That command tank's firing at stuff. Fantyx still being fairly aggressive here. 3 minutes left. T-Man way out ahead. I think T-Man has this game. I mean, it's been tense. And Fantyx has done an amazing job at pushing. T-Man's done an amazing job at defending, but he's lost nearly all of his tanks. I mean, it's been brutal. He's just outclassed and outmatched in terms of those T80s. Choppers being used to full effect here against these tanks, doing as much damage as possible. Motsuchin being used as well. I mean, this is like must defend, must defend, must defend. Two minutes. And I don't think Fantyx can do anything here. I'm pretty sure that T-Man has won this game. Even if this command is killed. Now, have much look at those cubs against the Su-25. Look at it dodging stuff. What is the ECM on that thing? 10%. Fantyx being a bit more aggressive here. I realise in the meantime, T-Man actually managed to kill the command tank that was in here. The T80 BVK is gone. SU anti-tank coming in again, going for the Su-25. Oh! One of the cubs at the back's being killed. Su-22 went for the T80 BVK, but did not get a hit. That thing has been atrocious this game. 30 penetration, 50% accuracy, but I don't think it's actually scored a hit on an enemy tank. And there's the game. I think that was a surrender at the very end there by Fantyx, but really well played, guys. Really good pushback. Look at how close the kills to losses were there. For T-Man, it was all about those points, getting them and then holding, and it worked. Really well played, guys. Fantyx, fantastic job in the middle, using those T80s, the powerhouse, to your advantage. Let's have a look at those kills and losses. I mean, the T80s are just, yeah, the Bertino got quite a few kills, but the T80s, as expected, absolutely smashing. You can see how many T72s they got. Look at that. T80 BVK, 1, 2, 3, 4 T72s. I mean, they were just melting through them. And on the other side, T72s were getting kills, but mostly it was infantry and transport vehicles. One T80 there. T80B for that one. Motsuchin doing a good job, getting plenty of kills. T72 managed to get a T80 there, finish one off. That T72M1 did well. T80, T80U. At least it got a final blow anyway. Really great game, guys. That was very tense combat throughout. I mean, really well played to you both. But exceptionally well done to T-Man, obviously getting in that bottom point and getting those points early and pushing up to the halfway point. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for game number 2 between these guys.